Plus I'm suffering from an old cold. This old weather doesn't help. Stop your moaning. Do you think Crom cares? Get on with it. Okay, so I've named him Afgul Asan. That was my first ever D&D character in 1984, 5, can't remember. Yeah, and I've always stuck with him. Played him in D&D and the Conan Odysseus and... Was it Odysseus or Monolith? No, it was Odysseus. The D20 and the 2D20. Mongoose before that. And then I even played the Conan TSR, the yellow box. Not too sure who created that. Okay, so my character Afghanistan, he is from around, he spent most of his time in Aquilonia. So when I was looking through the pages or the rules, it's only got a certain amount of characters from the hills, from the steppes, from the streets, so on. And you get bonuses for each area that you're from. So I want to be a guard, which means heavy armor, fighting style. So Aquilonia, Tarantia. So if I take him from, I'm thinking Gunderland. Yeah, I'm going to do Gunderland. So just next to Bosonian Marshes, Venerium, where Conan first met combat at a young age. I think he was, what, 17, 18, 19? So he travelled from Samaria and the sacked Venerium because the Aquilonians and the border kingdoms, Bosonian Marches, they were pushing into their land. Because they couldn't push into the Pictish wilderness because they were too tough. And then when they met the Sumerians, they learned what tough is. So, yeah, I'm going to have him from Gonderland. So yeah, it's going to be a Gonderland. The reason is I wanted him to be from Aquilonia, the way Howard had described Aquilonia as sort of like, I've always seen it like that 14th century Normandy type stuff. Actually, King Arthur has the look of the Aquilonians. So yeah, Aquilonia, origin, east. Yeah, that's where I had a problem. The origin. Because I wanted them to have obviously lots of hit points and to be able to do certain things that others can't. So I thought the only thing that's going to fit at the minute, from what I've read so far, yeah, is from the north. And the reason is I get a charge skill and Ironhide. I'm not too sure if I get the two of them, but I'm sure with, I think you get a certain amount of XP points you can spend and buy them. Plus I've got 32 health. The only thing, sorcery, none. Athulasan had no sorcery, so it will be from the north. I'm putting this in pencil just in case I find something else as I go through. So bonuses: +1 to all melee damage. Begin with the Ironhide or charge skill. Life points 32. That's exactly what I needed. A good. I don't really consider the +1 melee a help to the soldier, but if he's doing damage while tanking, we'll skip through the rest of the origins. So step 2, distribute the points. So I printed out the rulebook. I printed it out in a low quality. You know, it's not the best quality, but for what it cost me, I spent £14 on refilling my printer, Epson printer. And then I went through the rulebook, the PDF, and I cut out the fluff, so I didn't have to print 230 pages. I think I only printed half of that. And I only used up one cartridge, which I had to refill, which was the magenta, so it came out really well. So I printed out a bit of the origin, but to be honest with you, I realised when I was printing it, didn't need it. So I stopped it halfway through. Started it at character creation, which just makes more sense. Yeah, at first I wasn't going to do all the origins, because I just thought some of them people won't play at the minute until they get good at normal characters, but I left them in just in case. So we have step 2, distribute stat points. In Conan Hyborian Age, 4 stats determine a PC's overall progress and capabilities: might, age, grit and wits. Players have 16 stat points to distribute among the 4 stats. Each stat must have at least 1 stat point allocated to it. During character creation, no stat may be increased to a value higher than 6, though in the future, through training and experience, it's possible to increase the stat to a maximum of 8. In addition to the value of stat, each stat has an allocated stat die. To begin with, each stat has a default stat die of D6. It is possible to increase the stat die through training and experience to D8 or D10. So we'll put our D6 in for now. As we know, that's as far as we go. So might, I'll not go through them all, but might is basically your strength, physical strength, melee attacks, inflicting damage, climbing, swimming, lifting, physical actions. Also, if a character is over encumbered by armor or the amount of equipment they are carrying, the higher might stat allowing for the character to carry more. Now, being a tank, he's going to be wearing plate mail, so obviously the might has to be high. Edge is a measure of a character's physical sharpness, deftness, intuition, alertness, dexterity, hand-eye coordination, used for situational awareness to avoid detection and when making attacks with thrown or ranged weapons. Edge is also used to determine the character's ability to avoid incoming damage and to calculate their initiative during combat. Now, what I'm thinking, I need a high might, but being a tanky type guy, I think I should go for a high edge too. The reason is not for the dexterity, but for the initiative during combat. If I can get in first, that's good. So that I'll keep an eye on. Grit. So grit is a measure of a character's pain tolerance, stamina, constitution, resistance to poison or elements. So you're basically using it to tough out the environment around you. Fear and intimidation. Grit is used to determine a character's total life points and stamina points, see below, which allow the character to do more during any given situation. So I want to max out my life points, obviously. So grit. So I think grit should be more important than age, even though I want the initiative to get high initiative, but the grit to get me the extra health points. Wits measures a character's eloquence of speech, rhetoric, ability to decipher languages and symbols, knowledge-based deduction, and the ability to read people and detect and tell lies. Wits is also used for sorcerers to decipher magical languages and enhance their spells. Okay, so grit. So might first, grit second, edge third. Step 3, record other values. Each player must record a number of other important values that will round out their character. Physical defense. Physical defense is a measure of a character's ability to defend themselves. A character's physical defense score is equal to their age +2 plus any bonuses granted by skills or other rules. Note, there is a minimum value of 5 for a PC's physical defense, regardless of their age stat and other bonuses. So 5 would be the norm. I'll stick that in. That's my tummy rumbling. My God, I'm fasting, but that was like a volcano erupting. Sorcery defense is used to protect against and resist the effects of sorcery and dark arts. Character sorcery defense is equal to their wit stat +2 plus any bonuses granted by skills or rules. Note that there's a minimum value of 5 for a PC sorcery defense regardless of their wits, stat and other bonuses. A minimum of 5. So I put 0 in there because I thought I wouldn't have any sorcery. Life points. Life points are a measure of the character's physical well-being, with a higher value representing the ability to sustain more physical harm before facing any ill consequences. Basically, hit points. Character determines their starting and maximum life points by doubling their grit stat and adding it to the number of base life points they have assigned according to the origin. For example, if a given origin provides base life points of 26 and a character has a grit stat of 4, they will have 34 life points. Yeah, you double the grit stat, 4 becomes 8, on the 36 gives you 34. Okay, so stamina points. Stamina points allow for versatile, spontaneous strategies, representing the skills of truly legendary warriors. Stamina points may be used during the game to provide a range of bonuses. A character's starting stamina points value is equal to their grit stat. For example, if a character has a grit stat of 4, then they have 4 stamina. There is no upper limit to how many stamina points a character can have. Their available points will reset whatever their grit stat is at the start of each tale. Flex die. Flex die is a special die. Is rolled every time a character rolls dice for any reason. When the flex die rolls its maximum value, it triggers a flex. Flex die starts as a D10, though this can be upgraded through starting skills. So the flex die is a D10. Step 4, choose starting skills. Skills are what set player character PCs apart from their common person. So this is going to be their skills. So to choose skills, each player character is allotted a lot of 3 XP to spend on them. This XP must be spent during character creation and cannot be saved for later. After character creation, more XP can be earned through the process of adventuring, and other skills may be purchased as part of the character progression. A PC may spend their starting 3 XP on any skills from the starting skills table below, as well as any sorcery skills from the sorcery disciplines. A character may never possess the same skill more than once. Okay, so starting skill, born in a saddle. I have charge, so that's 1 XP out of 3 spent. So So 3 XP, charge. is 1 XP. I really don't need to be writing all this down, but truth be told, I'm trying to create this character sheet so when I go to do it with my players, I'll know what I'm doing. So charge 1 XP, spend 1 stamina point, make 2 move actions, followed by a melee attack action. This only counts as 1 action. So in here I'll put in 1 stamina point, 1 stam point, to make 2 to move. To move actions followed by a melee attack. So 2 move actions and 1 attack. So 1 attack action. So would that be on top of your already move attack? So in your action you get to move and attack. So if you spend 1 stamina point, you get 2 moves plus the 1 move that you already have. So I would give you 3 moves and then 2 attacks. Like in the Age of Conan game, you have a charge skill where you click and it speeds in and attacks, does damage as you rush in your shield. So I would see that the charge would be the charge effect of going in, smashing into something. So it gives you 2 move actions and 1 attack. So that means you could do double the distance and smash into them really fast. But does that mean you also get your move and action? To me, I don't think you should, but I'll find out from the rules. Spend 1 stamina point, make 2 move actions, followed by a melee attack action. This only counts as 1 action. Yeah. So if you spend a stamina, you're getting 2 actions in. Your normal action plus this. Not sure. I'll have to question that. So I've got 3 XP. I've spent 1 so far, so improve flex. If you spend all 3, you can get a D8. Fists. But that must be Steve Costigan here. Robert E.Howard character. A boxer. Resilient. Pantherish. Oh, that's really good. It's 2 points. Spend 1 stamina point. Reroll a failed check or attack. That would be so handy. Eagle-eyed. Increase the damage of all ranged attacks. Brawler. Increase the damage of all melee attacks by +1. Whoa. Also nice. Assassin, no. Uncanny warding, increased sorcery. Off the shadows, +1 the edge checks. Ironhide, increase maximum life points by 3, so +3 life points. I'll put in hit points just to remind myself. So that already is going to +3, so that's going to be 35. So a +3 in life points is pretty cool. Brings it up to 35. So that's 2 XP I've spent. Okay, one more to go. I'll have to take have charge of Ironhide. Defender, choose a friendly character within touch range. Become the target of a single attack made against that chosen friendly character. May only be used once per round. That is something that I feel that my Age of Conan Guardian would do and would have. Definitely this is sticking out for me for a Guardian type characters, but there's also hit and run. Spend 1 stamina point, make an attack action followed by 2 move actions. This only counts as 1 action, so you get bang bang and then move out of range, 2 moves, and they would not be able to follow you on unless they spent their stamina or they had skills that give them 2 moves. Okay, no, I'm gonna stick with my initial thoughts. If I want to be a tank in this game, so I'm gonna go for Defender, and it's choose a friendly character. Friendly character. To touch range. Become the target of a single attack made against a chosen friendly character. Choose a friendly character within touch range. Become the target of a single attack made against a chosen friendly character. May only be used once per round. So I can take a damage basically of another character. Take, hit, off. Friendly PC player character. Sorcery skills, I'm not bother reading it because I'm not taking it. Right, I do need to go back look through this and check out the points again. I haven't allocated the points because I'm still thinking about them in my mind. So I have 0 XP left. Distribute stat points. Players have 16. And they're going to be distributed between 4. So we're going to do the mate, the highest. So because I have a +1 melee anyway, or melee, I could take 5. 5 is 10. So I'll have a high mate, that'll be 6 because of +1 melee. High grit of 5. And then that leaves 6 points left, which I could then do 3 and 3 for edge and wit. The reason why I'm thinking that, but then there's an issue with grit and wits going towards other values and edge for the initiative. This isn't as easy as I thought. Each stat must have at least 1 stat point allocated to it during character creation. No stat may be increased to a value higher than 6, though in future through training. In addition to the value of a stat, each stat has an allocated stat die. To begin with, each stat die is D6. That's okay. So mate, we know, is damage. And it also means a character can carry more, doesn't get incumbent. So edge, obviously dexterity, intuition, hand-eye coordination, detection, throwing of range weapons. It's also used to avoid incoming damage, and when I'm thinking about it, a big tank, lots of armor on him, he ain't going to be very dexy. So I know I want to get the initiative, but I'm going to have to play on luck, where edge. The grit, that's your constitution. So grit is used to determine the character's total life points and stamina points. See, that's important. Stamina and life. And I already get a +3 from Ironhide. So, wits measures a character's eloquence of speech, so basically intelligence. Yeah, I'm going to keep that the lowest. Maybe it's a terrible thing to do, I know, but yeah, character sorcery defense is equal to their wits. So whatever wits I have here is going to be my sorcery defense. But wit stats +2 plus any bonus granted by skills or other rules. Note that there is a minimum value of 5 for the PC's sorcery defense, regardless of their wit stat and other bonuses. Okay, so physical defense. Physical defense is a measure of the character's ability to defend themselves. The character's physical defense score is equal to their edge stat +2, any bonuses granted by skills or other rules. Note that there's a minimum value of 5 for the PC's physical defense, regardless of their edge stat and other bonuses. So what does that mean? Does that mean I just put a 5 in both of them? 5 physical, 5 sorcery, and then whatever I add will add on top of that? Where does this 5 points come from? If I have 16 points to spend on might, edge, grit, and wits, I don't think the points go towards physical and sorcery. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Let's go back. Physical defense is a measure of a character's ability to defend themselves. A character's physical defense score is equal to their edge stat +2. So, yeah. So if I want to be really physical in your face, I'm going to need to have a good edge. Damn. So I'm going to stick with my initial thoughts. 5 in might, 5 in edge. Now, I have a +1 melee, so that's really 6 melee. I keep saying melee. Might is going to be 6M with a +1 melee, and edge 5. So that's 5 and 5, 10. My grit, I need to have good grit for my stamina. So 4. This is probably a big mistake, and that leaves me 2 for wits. Bit of a dumb guard. Okay, now I've got the stats put in. Let's see what we do. Each player must record a number of other important values. Physical defense is a measure of a character's ability to defend themselves. A character's physical defense score is equal to their edge. So edge is 5 plus 2. So we have physical defense, edge stat +2 plus any bonuses granted by skills or other rules. So let me see. So we have a 5 because my edge is 5. We get a +2. So it brings it to 7. Plus any bonuses granted by skills or rules. So charge, Ironhide +3 life points, defender, choose friendly character. No, I don't get any skills, so that's going to be a physical defense of 3. I would prefer that to be, or 7, I would prefer it to be a lot higher. Because, but then I'm thinking the plate mail or chain mail, whatever I'm going to have, is going to give me an armor rating, which might help out physical defense. Gives it a plus, so it's not bad actually. Right, my sorcery. Sorcery defense is used to protect against and resist effects of sorcery and dark arts. Character sorcery defense is equal to their wits, so my wits is 2. Plus 2 is 4. Any bonuses granted by skills? No. Doesn't give me any bonuses. Note, there is a minimum value of 5 for a PC sorcery defense regardless of their wit stat and other bonuses. I can't have a 2 value in here because there needs to be a minimum value of 5. So I need another +1 for my wits. So do I take it off my age, which gives me the advantage on initiative and oh yeah, and plus that'll affect my physical defense. It'll bring that down. Ooh, physical defense. No, I cannot take any more off my physical defense. I am going to go for actually if I make them both 3. Okay, let me see what this works out at. I didn't think it would have been as thinky. Is this? So yeah, so if I start off for a 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay, that'll get me to a 5 sorcery. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm going to regret this. I needed that grit. So life points. Life points are a measure of a character's physical well-being. A higher value represent the ability to sustain more damage. A character determines their starting maximum life points. By doubling their grit stat and adding it to the number of base life points they're assigned according to their origin. For example, if the origin provides base life points of 26 and a character has a grit of 4, they will have 34, so they're doubling it. So I have grit of 3, which is going to give me a +6 to my overall, which is 32, but I've also got the +3 for Ironhide. So that's going to take me to 41. So 41 max, and I'm going to, my max here is actually 36. No, 38. Right, so my actual life points are 38, but I have 41 due to Ironhide. Sorry about my voice. This damn cold is it's knocking me for 6. So we have 38, 41 max. That's decent for a tanky character. I'm happy with that, but I could have had more, only for the grit. Let me just make sure I've not missed anything. So we have physical defense, sorcery defense, edge, might, grit, wits, D10 flag, stamina points. Oh yes, where's the stamina? Stamina points allow for versatile and spontaneous strategies. Oh my god, I can nearly speak. Represent the skills of a truly legendary warriors. A character's starting stamina points value is equal to their grit stat. For example, a character has a grit stat of 4, they will start with 4 stamina points. Oh, this is crap. I'll have 3. So for charge costs 1 stamina point. Right, so I'll need to keep the stamina for the charging for fights. Okay, so I think that's that section done. Let me just double check. Select starting equipment. Yeah, we're on our way. We could basically go into a game like this now. So I'm thinking of my tank in the game Age of Conan. I really want to get as close as possible. So I have the Age of Conan Modicius 2D20 system, and I have guard set out. Guardian, these heavily armed armored warriors are the best drilled, often best equipped in any battle. Famed wherever fighting folk gather and speak. Guardians charge into the most desperate of frays, encased in armour, thick of plate, broad shields arrayed before them. That's why I took the charge skill. They have learned to use their bodies as battering rams, knocking their foes off their feet and across the field. Their strength, bolstered by many hours of wearing their burden of second steel skin, gives them an unlooked for speed. So in the old game in the Medicius 2D20, you had a career skill, +2 expertise, +2 focus in the melee skill. Now there is a part of me that once I learn these rules, I'm going to take these rules and embed them in it. This is what I like about Age of Conan Hyborian Age RPG. It's rote to get you a game to play fast, to get in there. But it's also very open, open to OGL, where you could bring in your own stats and stuff. And I'm thinking definitely the Age of Conan. I'm going to try and keep this connected with the Age of Conan game. So as I progress, I'm going to allow people, if they be a Dark Templar or a Bear Shaman and so on, to take the skills that are in the game and to buy them with XP. So as they progress, say they have the XP, they could go in and buy trying to think of what a Guardian had. What does a Guardian have? The charge, aggro, to take assault, or if somebody's being assaulted, they aggro them and to bring them into you. So there's an awful lot of the Age of Conan digital online game that definitely could be used in the new Conan RPG. I wonder if they had that in mind. I'm thinking they did. So we have like career skill +2, the expertise +2 focus. So we could do a +2 to melee attacks once you level up. Then we have mandatory skills, +1 expertise, +1 focus to alchemy, insight, healing, and lore. That would be your wits, so you give a +1 to wits. Effective skills, +1 expertise, +1 focus to 2 of the following: acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, melee, or ranged weapons. Again, added to your edge or to your melee. Equipment: a suit of heavy armor, any type, all locations, and choice of shield. 3 weapons of your choice. Now, I am 2 minds. See if I read through these rules and they don't give me good choices. I'm going to go and use the Age of Conan rules for armor. I'm bringing a full set of plate mail armor and 3 weapons of my choice. Actually, it doesn't say plate mail, it says heavy armor. So it could be anything from chain mail, scale mail. Okay, so we have here, select starting equipment. No adventure or great warrior is complete without his tools of the craft. Each character is permitted to choose any 2 weapons or 1 weapon and a shield. There you go, so that's good. I get to choose 1 weapon and a shield, so +1 melee damage from my origin. Okay. Where is... Ah, right, okay. I thought you would have had a box for your gear, but they have these separate ones. So... armor. So I get to choose... 2 2 weapons or 1 weapon on the shield. So 1 weapon on the shield, I'm going to take, obviously, I'm trying to think, as a guard, a sword as my main weapon. Not too sure, long sword, short sword, or whatever. I'll find that out as I play it. And I'm going to take armor type. Can I go full plate, or is there an encumbrance? Let me check. Page 62. So heavy. Oh, armor rating 8, encumbrance value 5. I'll be able to handle that because I have a might of 5. Full plate knight's armor. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. So full plate. I'm glad that we're not paying more money here, because you couldn't afford it. When you first started playing Age of Conan, you had no chance of even getting that type of armor. So full plate knight's armor. So full plate knight's armor, and that's 8 armor rating, 5 for encumbrance. So you have -3 to all sorcery attacks, -3 sorcery attacks. Okay, I'm just thinking to myself, so -3 to all sorcery attacks. So if any sorcerer attacks me, I have a -3, or, oh my god, yeah. -3 to all checks when attempting to move stealthily. Oh, I'm going to be a nuisance to other players if I play. Usually a DM for this. So -3 movement, dex, dexterity, or edge. Oh my god. May never take more than 1 move action in a turn, regardless of skills, stamina points, or any other rules. So having the charge ability to move attacks and an attack action, I won't be able to do that then, is that? Let me just read this again. May never take more than 1 move action in a turn, regardless of skills, stamina points, or any other rules. Oh, no way. This ain't good. So the charge ability is defunct. Oh, no way. Okay, so it can't be plate mail. That's quite annoying. I would like at this point to maybe do a bit of home ruling, but no, I'm not. So may only take 1 recovery during any game session where heavy armor has been worn for 1 or more combat encounters. Yeah, full plate's out. Full plate does not suit this game. If it's going to affect your overall stats, no. So I'll go where breastplate, cuirass, or hauberk. Yeah, so that's a 5. Decent armor rating. Encumbrance of 3. Breastplate. I think that's all Conan would wear anyway. Most of the time as a breastplate. In R the Dragon. Okay, so breastplate, AR rating 5, encumbrance 3. -2 to all sorcery. Oh, I should have read, actually, does it affect my skills? So -2 to to sorcery, and a minus to all checks attempting to move stealthily. -2 to all sorcery attacks. May never take more. What the? I really do need to read the rules first, don't I? May never take more than 2 move actions in a turn, regardless of skills, stamina points, or other rules. Actually, that's alright. So if I can take 2, may never take more than 2 actions. So with charge, that's 2 move actions. May never take more than 2 move actions in a turn, regardless of skill, stamina points, or any other rules. That's okay. So I need to be able to take 2. This allows me to do it. That's fine. Now the shield. Because I'm going to go sword and shield. Other than a shield, no armor may be stacked, meaning that a character wearing light, medium, or heavy armor may not also wear any other type of armor besides a shield. A shield gives you +1 physical defense. So that's here. So +1 physical from the shield. Oh, right. So it's a +1 to here. Do I put in here armor rating 1? I'm sure it is. Yeah. Encumbrance 3. And the rule for the shield is requires the user to have one hand free. One hand free. Okay, a note about heavy armor. Throughout Howard stories, it is rare to find warriors wearing heavy plate armor. Doing so is exhausting and will draw significant attention outside a full-blown war. As such, a warrior wearing full suit of armor will likely to remove it when walking through a humid jungle. GM should be mindful of our characters wear their heavy armor. Okay, yep, makes sense. Need to go back here. Is that me done my armor? Weapons, yeah, I suppose I should look at the sword. Okay, sword. Anybody have sword here? So, broadsword, definitely. Yeah, definitely broadsword. So the broadsword is 1d8 damage. Nice. 1d8. Don't know what type means. Oh yeah. So type is melee 100. Melee 100. And its range, I'm sure it's touch. Same area touch. So I am also going to take in the Age of Conan game, the online game, I would have a polearm as my second weapon for doing DPS when I change my specifications, but you can't really be doing that in this game, so I am going to have sword, shield. If I go one-handed or lose my shield, I'll then take my poleaxe off my back. Yeah, a poleaxe. I'm thinking to myself, is this taking the P, having a poleaxe strapped over your back, the weight with the armor and the. But I'm a big lad. I'll check the encumbrance later on. So we have a 1. That's a 2-handed. No shield in hand. Range is obviously going to be 2, medium, yep. Range is close. 2 squares, I think it is. And damage is 1d10. And the last thing I'm just going to have... Oh, do you know, I could go for an out crossbow. When I was a tank, I was a bit of a crossbower. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, crossbow. How did they carry this stuff back in the Dark Ages? Must be a nightmare. It's going to be a light crossbow, I think. Yeah, light crossbow. Type. Ranged. Light. And it's got range medium. And damage 1d, that's pretty nice damage actually for a crossbow. So it's 1d8 plus 1. If a target is close range, plus 2 damage, plus 2 damage if close. And with a character with a mate value of 5 or more, I can use it one-handed. So I can use the crossbow with the shield. Okay, brilliant. Mate 5, one-handed. I'm putting in shorthand in here so it reminds me. Is that my weapons all done? It is. So back again, where were we? What page? We were doing, I think, this could be it. Yeah, that's just the rules then after this. The range, close touch. Hold on. I must have missed. Record other values, physical defense, sorcery. We've done that. Choose starting skills. We've done that. Select start equipment. We've just done it. Create a backstory. I know my backstory. There's nowhere to write it here. So I'll get a separate page with, and I'll draw. I'm actually starting to draw ideas for my tank. Oh. These are just sketches. Yeah, it's going to look like Conan, obviously. In full plate or full armor. So I'll do the backstory in our time. Character types. Oh, that right. We're really into the game. That must be the end then of the character creation, I think. I like to tag the pages, so when I'm playing the game I know exactly where things are. I have a terrible habit of having to go through all the pages. So this is the flex die. Yeah, that's the character done. We know the weapons I have: a polearm or a poleaxe, broadsword, and a crossbow. Yep, that's it done then. Stamina points, I've got them, haven't I? Yep, 3. Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, it is fairly fast, definitely, to create a character in Age of Conan. More XP in the future. Questing gets you XP. I mean, you can spend 6 for sharpshooter. The character may perform one bonus ranged attack action per turn, in addition to the other actions. They're basically a machine gun. Yeah, and I didn't print out anything other than character creation rules, how to play the game. The add-ons, like the ideas for gaming modules, they look pretty good, but they look so short. That would bug me. I like to use maps and Owlbear Rodeo. I have a table with a TV, the TTRPG. So yeah, this character is great. Good thing about it is you could do two. Have two characters. Do another one on the back. Maybe do them different specification. You're going for an edge character. Maybe he's wearing different weapons, different armor. One day he gets up, he's a guardian, a soldier. Next day he's a warrior thief, you know. But so the character ends up of Gulasan from the north. Flex dice D10, stamina points 3, physical defense 7, but he gets a +1 defense for shield, sorcery 5, wits 3, grit 3, value 5 for edge, and mate 5. That's going to come back to haunt me, I believe, either the wits or the grit. Yeah. Actual life points are 38, but I get 41 max because of Ironhide, broadsword, melee one-handed, within touch range, 1d8 damage, pretty good. Poleaxe, melee, two-handed, close, 2 squares basically, or touch and close. Damage 1d10, no shield in hand, so crossbow, ranged, light, medium. Can go up to close, medium and far. Damage is 1d8 +1. +2 damage at close range. You need a 5 or more in might to use it. Breastplate, armor rating 5. That's as good as it gets, because any damage it's done first has to get through my physical defense, and then I can reduce it with my armor. Encumbrance 3, -2 to sorcery attacks, -2 to move and edge. So basically -2 to dexterity and stuff like that. Shield, one hand, +1 DAR. And I have a origin bonus of +1 melee damage. So yep, that's it. Didn't take too long. We'll be talking 30 minutes just to create this character. And if you were doing a team, if you had all your players, which I have 3 players, and they're all D&D heads. So, and plus they're the type of people that you can't make mistakes, because they'll make you pay for it. With a slagging them, whatever, you know. But yeah, so easy to make. I'm surprised it's so easy. And hopefully this helped others understand the creation of it. But yeah, happy gaming in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.